Well, right here is new video from this week of the first elephant calf born at the Oregon Zoo since 2012. After a 20-month pregnancy, Rose 2, the zoo's 30-year-old Asian elephant, gave birth to a healthy baby over the weekend. The new calf weighed in at around 200 pounds, according to zoo staff, and within 15 minutes was standing on its own. Staff are pretty sure it's a girl, but they won't know for sure until its first checkup. Here's curator of elephants for the zoo, Steve Lefebvre, on how long it might be until they find out.
Hopefully soon. So we want to have the calf in hand for an exam before we do that. And we're working with Rose to do that and make sure that she's confident and comfortable with that, since the calf's very healthy. We don't need to do anything, so we're on Rose time now to get that to happen. On Rose time.
Lefebvre says the baby is a quick learner and has great trunk control for such a young age, adding that the little one is keeping mom on her toes. Well, that new addition to the Oregon Zoo reminded us of another eventful elephant birth that took place there over 60 years ago. So we went down to the KGW Vault to find some footage. It was 1962 when the Portland Zoological Gardens at the time welcomed Packy the elephant. He was the first elephant born in the Western Hemisphere since the late 1910s. KGW was at the zoo the day Packy was born. For the first few weeks of his life, the 225-pound calf was known as Fuzzy Face until a Portland radio station sponsored a baby naming contest. A teacher from Gresham decided to submit a play on the word pachyderm, the type of mammal an elephant is, and thus Packy had a proper name. When we tracked down that footage from the early 60s, we also stumbled on a KGW special report from a few years later, honoring the station's 10-year anniversary in 1966. And they looked back on big events, including numerous elephant births here in Portland in the early 60s, starting with Packy.
The next story begins back in April of 1962, and it comes from the animal world. One of the visiting elephants up at the Portland Zoo by the name of Belle gave birth to a new calf, the first successful elephant birth in captivity in this country in 43 years. The baby boy was named Packy, and so captured the fancy of the community that $30,000 was raised to purchase mother and son. Well, owner Morgan Berry then decided to donate the father, Tonglaw, and Pet, who was also pregnant. On October 3rd, Rosie, the matriarch of the elephant colony, gave birth to a baby girl, subsequently named Me Too. In September of 1963, 8-year-old Pet gave birth to little Dino, who weighed in at a scant 155 pounds. 8 days later, Tiwa gave birth to a 240-pound daughter, named by the school children of Sapporo, Japan, Hanako, meaning flower child. Well, elephant births became so common that we accepted quite calmly the birth of Rosie's second child in 1965, a dainty daughter since sold to the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago. And in 1966, Pet had another male offspring, presently called for sale by certain members of the staff. The sixth baby elephant born here since 1962. The citizens were heard to wonder if it would ever stop.
Well, those elephant births have really not slowed down much. 29 calves have been born here since Packy in 1962, including the newest addition. The Oregon Zoo has become a leader in understanding the care, enrichment, and captive breeding of Asian elephants.